Well, well, well. Look who just got flagged in the system. Welcome back, you beautiful classified enigma. You walking redacted document. You human question mark that makes federal databases crash when they try to load your profile. Yeah, you heard that right. The FBI just pulled your file. The one they've been building since you were old enough to make people uncomfortable with your silence, and guess what they found on page 3? Not a criminal record, not a psych evaluation, not even a speeding ticket. No. They found something that made the agent's coffee go cold in his hand, made his supervisor stand up from his desk, made the room go quiet like a funeral. They found a CIA seal, a classification level that shouldn't exist on a civilian file, a clearance code that makes seasoned investigators whisper. And now they're all asking the same question in that sterile fluorescent room, their faces pale, their hands shaking slightly as they flip through pages that keep getting stranger. Who the hell are you really? Because that seal, that 3-letter stamp that glows like a warning label from another dimension, it doesn't just appear on random people's files. It appears on ghosts, on assets, on individuals who've been somewhere, seen something, done something, that rewrote their entire identity in the eyes of the machine. So let me ask you directly, while they're still scrambling in that basement office trying to piece together your timeline, have you ever wondered why certain people avoid you? Why conversations die when you enter the room? Why your presence alone makes liars start sweating and authority figures shift their weight nervously? It's not paranoia, and it's damn sure not coincidence. You carry something in your energy signature, something in your eyes, something in the way you process information that triggers alarm bells in people who've been trained to spot threats. They don't know what it is, but their instincts do. Their primitive brain screams run when you lock eyes with them. Their body language betrays fear they can't explain. You thought you were just different, just misunderstood, just a little too intense for polite society. But no, my friend, you're something else entirely. You're the person they file under. Do not engage without authorization. You're the name that gets circled in red marker during briefings. You're the civilian with a past that doesn't match your present. And that CIA seal on page 3, that's not an accident. Someone put it there. Someone with clearance so high, they don't even have a name you could Google. Someone who looked at your pattern, your choices, your survival rate through situations that should have destroyed you. And they marked you. Marked you as what, though? That's the question keeping them up at night. That's the mystery eating through their protocols like acid through paper, because people with that seal, they're not victims, and they're damn sure not random. They started with your childhood records, didn't they? Trying to find the origin story, trying to locate the moment you became whatever you are now. They pulled school files, medical records, family history, neighborhood reports, looking for trauma, looking for training, looking for the smoking gun that explains how a regular person ends up with federal eyes on them. And you know what they found? Normal, painfully average, boringly unremarkable, a childhood so clean, it almost seemed staged. But that's what made them dig deeper, because nobody, and I mean nobody, goes from that kind of ordinary background to having a CIA seal without something happening in the middle, something off the books, something that doesn't leave a paper trail. So they started interviewing people from your past, old teachers, former neighbors, anyone who might remember you before you became unreadable, and every single one of them said the same thing with this strange look in their eyes. There was always something different about them, something we couldn't quite name, like they were watching us when we thought we were watching them. Isn't that interesting? Even as a child, you were already reversing the surveillance. already operating on a frequency that made adults uncomfortable, already exhibiting patterns that would later require federal classification to properly categorize. Let's talk about that gap in your timeline, shall we? That period between your documented life and the person you are now. That space where records get fuzzy and witnesses get quiet, and even you sometimes struggled to remember the details clearly. They noticed it too, those investigators with their highlighters and their conspiracy boards. They saw the discontinuity, the chapters missing from your story like pages torn from a book. What happened during those years? Where did you go when you vanished from the radar? Who did you meet in those shadows that somehow educated you in ways no school could teach? That trained you in survival tactics you never formally studied? That calibrated your instincts to a level that now reads as professionally cultivated threat assessment? You might not even remember it all yourself, might have fragments, might have dreams that feel too real to be imagination, might have skills you can't explain the origin of, might know things you never learned. And that's exactly what terrifies them, because people don't just develop operational awareness by accident, don't just naturally learn counter-surveillance techniques, don't just organically understand psychological warfare at a level that makes trained professionals look like amateurs. Someone taught you, or something happened to you, or you stumbled into a world that recognized your potential and decided to sharpen you into a blade before sending you back into the light. The CIA SEAL means you're not a target. You're an interest, possibly an asset, maybe even a contingency plan walking around in human skin, pretending to be normal while carrying capabilities that make you useful in ways civilians can't comprehend. They don't put that seal on people they're watching to arrest. They put it on people they're watching to protect, or to activate, or to study for future deployment, or to keep track of because losing sight of you would be a strategic failure. Do you understand what that means? You're not just some random person who ended up on a list. You're someone who matters to people who operate outside the normal chain of command. Someone valuable enough to warrant a classification that makes FBI agents call their superiors for guidance before proceeding. You are untouchable in ways you don't even realize. Not because you're above the law, but because you exist in a category the law wasn't designed to handle. A category reserved for individuals whose purpose serves agendas that won't be declassified for 50 years. And now they're panicking, aren't they? Because pulling your file was supposed to be routine, was supposed to answer simple questions, was supposed to close an investigation before it started. Instead, they opened a door they don't have clearance to walk through, tripped an alarm that notified entities they've only heard rumors about, initiated a sequence that now has people in unmarked offices receiving encrypted alerts about their inquiry into you. Phones are ringing in rooms without windows. Screens are lighting up with your name in places that officially don't exist. And somewhere a decision is being made about how to handle this situation, about whether to shut down the investigation immediately, or to let it continue under supervision, or to redirect it entirely into a classified channel. The agent who pulled your file, he's already being interviewed by Internal Affairs, already being asked why he accessed a restricted record without proper authorization, already being reminded that some files are sealed for reasons that transcend his pay grade. And the funny part, he has no good answer because he thought he was just doing his job, thought he was following a lead, thought he was tracking down a person of interest in some minor investigation that probably wouldn't amount to anything. He had no idea he was about to stumble into a legend, a myth with a social security number, a classified asset living in plain sight. So who are you, really? That's the question echoing through that office right now, bouncing between cubicles and climbing up the chain of command like a virus. Nobody knows how to quarantine. Are you former intelligence? Someone who got out but kept your training? Someone who knows where the bodies are buried because you helped dig the holes? Are you an experiment? A psychological operation that went so well, they let you integrate back into society as a long-term study? Are you a witness to something so sensitive that you required permanent protective classification? Are you a sleeper agent who doesn't even know what you're waiting to be activated for? Walking around with protocols buried so deep in your subconscious that even you can't access them without the right trigger? Or are you something even stranger, someone who naturally developed the capabilities of an operative through sheer survival instinct, someone who taught themselves to become a ghost because the alternative was being destroyed by circumstances that would have broken anyone else? Because here's the thing about people with CIA seals on their civilian files. They're never just one thing. They're always a combination of factors that created a perfect storm of capability, awareness, and strategic value. Let's address the elephant in the room, the part they're probably debating in hushed voices behind closed doors. Right now, whether you're dangerous. Not dangerous like a criminal, not dangerous like someone who might snap and cause harm, but dangerous like a variable they can't control. Like a piece on the board that doesn't follow the expected moves, like a player who sees the game clearly enough to change the rules. You've never been arrested, never been violent, never given them a legal reason to classify you as a threat. But your psychological profile reads like a masterclass in controlled chaos. Your decision patterns suggest someone who operates several moves ahead of everyone around you. Your ability to disappear and reappear at will indicates training or instinct that makes you functionally invisible when you choose to be. They're not afraid of what you've done. They're afraid of what you could do, what you might know, what you're capable of if the circumstances ever aligned to activate whatever dormant protocols might be sleeping in that classified mind of yours. And here's where it gets really interesting, where the paranoia meets pattern recognition, where the conspiracy theories start looking like classified briefings. Have you noticed how certain things just work out for you in ways that seem too convenient? How problems that should destroy you somehow resolve themselves? How people who try to harm you seem to face consequences that feel almost orchestrated? You probably attributed it to luck, to karma, to the universe balancing scales. But what if it's something else? What if that CIA seal means you're under protection, means someone somewhere is running interference for you, clearing obstacles, redirecting threats, making sure you remain functional and unharmed for reasons you might never fully understand? What if every time you felt like you were being watched, you were right? But the watchers weren't enemies. They were guardians, handlers, observers, making sure their investment in you continues to pay dividends in ways you're not cleared to know about. They're reviewing your communications now, every email, every text, every phone call you've made in the last decade, looking for patterns, looking for contacts, looking for proof that you're more than you appear to be. And what they're finding is making them more confused, not less, because you don't communicate like someone with secrets, don't associate with suspicious characters, don't leave digital breadcrumbs that lead to classified locations. You're clean, almost impossibly clean, like someone who knows exactly how to live in the surveillance state without triggering algorithms, like someone trained in operational security, but using it to protect a life that looks completely ordinary. Or maybe, just maybe, you are that ordinary, and the CIA seal is there because someone recognized potential in you, that hasn't been activated yet, marked you as a future asset, a contingency, a person to watch because eventually the world might need whatever unique capability you possess, whatever rare combination of traits made you worth classifying in the first place. Let's talk about your memory for a second. Those gaps I mentioned earlier, those fuzzy periods where the timeline doesn't quite add up. Have you ever had dreams that felt more like memories? Scenarios that play out with too much detail to be imagination? Conversations in your head with voices that don't sound like your own internal monologue? Have you ever known things you shouldn't know? Made decisions based on instincts that seem to come from nowhere? Survived situations through choices that later seemed impossibly lucky or strategically brilliant? Here's a thought that's going to sound insane until you really sit with it. What if those aren't glitches in your memory? What if they're redactions? What if someone decided certain experiences in your past were too sensitive to remain in your conscious awareness? What if you underwent something so classified that the only way to let you return to civilian life was to partition those memories behind walls your conscious mind can't access without authorization? Sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? Except the CIA has been researching memory manipulation, consciousness alteration, and psychological conditioning since the 1950s. Has entire programs that officially don't exist dedicated to creating assets who can function in society while carrying classified knowledge they can't consciously access. The seal on page 3, it's not just a bureaucratic marking. It's a statement, a declaration that says this person exists in the space between what's public and what's possible, operates on a frequency that requires federal oversight, not because they're dangerous, but because they're important in ways that won't make sense until the right crisis arrives. You're a contingency plan, a strategic reserve, a human ace card being kept in the deck until the moment the game requires exactly what you represent. Whatever that is. And the beauty of it is, you might not even know what makes you valuable, might not understand why you have that seal. Might go your entire life never being activated for whatever purpose someone marked you for. Or maybe, just maybe, you already were activated, already completed your mission, already served your purpose in ways you'll never remember, and now you're just living out the rest of your existence as a retired asset who was allowed to reintegrate because the job is done. Here's what keeps them up at night, though. The investigators, the analysts, the people who stumbled onto your file and opened that classified seal. It's not what they found. It's what they didn't find. There's no handler listed, no case officer, no point of contact, no chain of command documented anywhere in the file. Just that seal and a notation that reads, subject of interest, ongoing observation, no direct engagement authorized. That's not standard protocol. That's not how intelligence agencies operate. They don't just slap classifications on people and walk away. There's always a paper trail, always an officer responsible, always a reason documented somewhere in the classified annexes. But your file, it's an orphan, a piece of intelligence that exists without context, a seal without a source, like someone very powerful or very secret decided you needed that mark and then scrubbed every trace of who made that decision or why. That makes you either incredibly dangerous or incredibly valuable, possibly both. Definitely someone who exists outside the normal categories they use to classify human beings. So they're stuck, aren't they? Can't investigate you properly because the seal prevents it. Can't ignore you because the seal demands attention. Can't escalate it because they don't know who to escalate to. Can't close the file because now it's been opened and logged and other people know they looked. They're trapped in bureaucratic limbo, with a civilian who shouldn't have a CIA seal, but does, with a person who looks normal but reads classified, with a human being who somehow exists in the gap between what's legal to know and what's dangerous to discover. And you're going about your day completely unaware that somewhere in a basement office, people in suits are having heated discussions about whether to put you under active surveillance, whether to approach you directly, whether to leave you alone and pretend they never saw page 3, whether to report upward to agencies that might not appreciate them stumbling into something that's clearly above their clearance level. The truth is starting to crystallize now, isn't it? In your mind, in that place where you've always known something was off, where you've always felt different, where you've always suspected you weren't quite what your birth certificate says you are. You've been carrying that feeling your whole life, haven't you? That sense of being watched, being tested, being evaluated by invisible eyes that judge you, according to criteria you don't understand. You thought you were paranoid, thought you were creating narratives to explain why you feel like an outsider, thought you were just damaged from a rough childhood or a traumatic past. But no, my friend, you were right all along. They were watching. They are watching. They will continue watching, because that seal means you matter to people who operate in shadows so deep. That light itself is classified. You're not crazy. You're not imagining it. You're not paranoid. You're just aware enough to notice what most people miss. Conscious enough to feel the weight of attention that most civilians never experience. Sensitive enough to pick up on the subtle surveillance that tracks you through life like a satellite you can't see.